On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
The decline in people going to church to the decline in marriage rates. I was just asking that. Are you pleading the fifth, or what is this?
I want to hear your perspective.
We love you, Rilla. We just don't agree with you on
that. Like what?
But the thing of it is, Anton, and honestly, that's cool. But
Can you address what I said, please?
Yeah, I just think, Kay, I just want to hear your opinion on it.
Oh my goodness.
You don't need anything from me. I just want to hear what you have to think about the topic.
I already said that, but now I'm asking you because this is a show with conversations where we get to ask.
And that's what we do. Yep.
The same way, Chicago, that you do it to me.
Go ahead. Your question was, go ahead, so I can answer it outright for you. Go ahead.
Thank you. My question for you. Are you okay? We're cool, Chicago.
They don't want to hear the message of another man coming into their house. Right.
This is in my opinion, one of the examples that I think references back to the conversation that we just had in women upgrading, right? Because I find that you got to excuse me because I'm a heavy defender and proponent of the church. I find that most people make that as an excuse. Now, that is hilarious to me, Rilla. Because you just said in one of the last conversations that nobody can do anything to you. That's what you said out of your mouth. And now you blaming another man in order to justify your conversation of why you should or shouldn't go about rocking with your spirituality. You said a woman can't even do nothing to you at all. And now you trying to use the church as the crutch by which men choosing to fall away from God. That is a
right, so am I saying
that's dangerous, bro?
Wait, no. Let's be clear. Am I saying for me personally, or am I observing the landscape and saying what I see? Because I think I specifically was saying that this is what I see happening. And I said I was being objective in what I was seeing. Because you were saying anecdotally in my church, in the circles that I rock with, in the churches that I'm connected with in this community, it's this way. And I come from a good church and I'm still connected to that church, right? So I'm not tripping on what's going on in my space. I'm saying I'm not anecdotally, but I'm saying for the observable eye, from what I could see. Okay, let me ask you this, Anton.
Who's telling you all this about the pimps? Like, I'm just trying to figure out where this comes from. I have a lot of church-going friends, anecdotally, and none of them are like me.
Well, are these church going?
He's talking about Bishop Don.
I think I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna speak on it real quick. I'm gonna speak on it.
Yes, Don.
Wait.
Hold on.
Are these church-going friends of yours overwhelmingly male or female?
Both. Why are you skeptical? A lot of people go to church.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I haven't. Like, I'm gonna tell you what I've seen. Like, I'm gonna tell you what I've seen in Chicago, right?
Was it
I haven't been to church in a minute, especially with the pandemic, right? But when I was growing up in a smaller church, it was easy access for everybody to have more of a relationship. So I did see some of the similar stuff that really is speaking of. When I went to the bigger churches, I didn't see that. Was it happening? You don't know because the church is so big. People just come in there for the purpose. But in those smaller, like family churches, a lot of guys were creeps. A lot of women were creeps. A lot of people had so much trauma. They was coming there trying to get saved, and they still doing dirty work all throughout the whole entire church. So I have seen that happen in churches. You know, some of those deacons was some freaky deacons. You know, it was a whole lot of things going on. So I can't speak to every church, but I can understand in the smaller church. But the bigger churches, we didn't see that. People just came together, praised. The thing I heard about the bigger churches is that they were skeptical about if it was all about money, or they was either trying to count the pastor's pocket and trying to see how they live in luxurious and in $1 million homes and stuff like that. So I seen a lot of talk about that. But smaller churches, it was more about everybody was doing some dirty stuff.
I just think if we're going to have the conversation, fam, we got to be like 1000% real about the state of the Black church or church in general, evangelical and all otherwise. And I'm not finna sit up here and paint a picture like everything is on the up and up. It's not.
Well, but everything is not on the up and up anywhere. The question,
Right? I don't understand why
And
we're
we're gonna bring it
expecting,
back to y'all as a church.
right? I don't understand
Still
why we're
place to find a
expecting
spouse.
people to be perfect in church. What church is people from the
All
outside
walks of
coming
life.
in, all walks of life. You're gonna see pimps and scallywags in college, at your job, on the internet. These are people. It's just some people understand that they need a little bit more help and they can't do it on their own, and asking for the name and praises of Jesus or God or whomever they serve, what mosque or whatever. But church is not perfect, and it's not for perfect people. It's for people that knows that I'm fallen to sin and I need to get right. There's not a perfect soul in the church and never will be. So why are we holding, everybody, I know the most sinners I know is in church. That's where they need to be. That's exactly where they need to be. The heathens, the scallywags, pimps, dallywops, whatever. That's where they need to go.
What?
But I mean, she's making a point, because then at the same time, on the flip side, you'll see people say the same thing and say, well, I don't like church because I got to dress up, or because they won't accept me as I am. Like they making arguments out of not you necessarily, Rilla, but they making arguments out of both sides of their mouth. And I just don't understand. Just like Courtney said, right? You're going to have some of the worst things that I've ever seen on a college campus. I don't see nobody saying I'm not going to college because it's some whatever it is that I don't rock with. We only apply that to certain things, and I think that's disingenuous.
Why not to
Hold on, you guys. Hold on, Real. I want to go back to Kay because she never did get a chance to finish, and then I'm gonna go to River.
I was just asking Chicago, were you trying to correlate the decline in people going to church to the decline in marriage rates? I was just asking that. Are you pleading the fifth, or what is this?
We
love you, Rilla. We just don't agree with you on that.
Like what?
But the thing of it is, Anton, and honestly, that's cool. But
Can you address what I said, please?
Yeah, I just think, Kay, I just want to hear your opinion on it.
Oh my goodness.
You don't need anything from me. I just want to hear what you have to think about the topic.
I already said that, but now I'm asking you, because this is a show with conversations where we get to ask.
And that's what we do. Yep.
The same way, Chicago, that you do it to me.
Go ahead. Your question was, go ahead, so I can answer it outright for you. Go ahead.
Thank you. My question for you. Are you okay? We're cool, Chicago.